Where do Jews get their faith from? I'll tell you where we don't get our faith from. We do not get our faith from our mind. We don't. We get our faith from our soul. It's just a deeper, more expansive place than the limits of the mind. The mind support the faith that comes from the soul, but our faith comes from our soul. And that's the reason why we're finding this unbelievable awakening, as many people are referring to it, this awakening amongst the Jewish people since October 7th. Because what happens when something horrific occurs in someone's life, we know on a psychological level that sometimes it really shatters a person. It also wakes them up to things that they otherwise were not open to. Spiritually, the exact same thing happens. It starts to wake us up to a deeper part of ourselves that we maybe weren't open to until now. And that's why we're finding that there are thousands of soldiers, Jewish soldiers in the Israeli army, who are now wearing tefillin every single day. And they're doing this because they just feel a calling to actually do this. Now, it's fascinating because right before the 1967 Six-Day War, as you may remember or learned about, the Lubavitch Rebbe began the tefillin campaign. The mitzvah of wearing these two leather boxes, which the Torah commands a man to wear every single day, other than Shabbos and major holidays, because they actually have a special merit that comes with them. And this is actually from a verse in the book of Deuteronomy, an explicit verse right there in the Torah, which says, V'ro'u kol amei ha'aretz ki shem Hashem nikra alecha v'yoru mimeka. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 10. Look it up. It says that the nations of the world will see that the name of God is written upon you, and they will fear you. And the Talmud tells us, well, what does that mean? The name of God is written upon you. It's referring to tefillin shebarosh, the tefillin that goes on the head. There's a tefillin that goes on the arm, then there's another box that goes on the head. And when we wear these tefillin, we have the presence of God written all over us. And that means that we bring the presence of God wherever we go. Presence of God, infinite presence, infinite power. In fact, something really fascinating has been going on, and that is not only have the Jews been awakening to this, but apparently the Gentile world is becoming very inspired by the Jewish awakening that is going on. And a famous talk show host who you may be familiar with by the name of Glenn Beck has actually joined in a tefillin fundraiser to help Jewish soldiers get tefillin that they can wear. Why is he doing this? Because he says there's nothing more beautiful than people turning to God, especially in the time of war. It's so inspiring. And as God said to Abraham, right, the first Jew, those who bless you, I will bless. Those who curse you, I will curse. There's nothing greater that the world can do than to support the Jewish people, because when we do so, we are blessing the Jewish people, and by blessing the Jewish people, we will be blessed.
It's getting a little frightening. This is the Jewish people waking up back to their faith and turning back to God and saying, you are our only hope. And I don't know if this is something that connects with you, but it connects with me deeply. And I wanted to share it with you because I think when we turn back to God, all our problems cease. And I'd like to help them reconnect to God, and maybe that will help us reconnect to God in our own country. There is this movement by about 8,000 soldiers who were not really religious. They got into the war and they have found God, wanting to wear what's called tefillin, a constant reminder of God and his word. These things are expensive. Josh Friedman, he is a rabbi in Israel, is on a mission to provide these devices to every IDF soldier who requests one. They have raised $3.4 million out of that $4 million goal, but the demand is growing fast. So I would like to ask you if you would donate anything to Rabbi Friedman's mission I don't think there's a better thing than people turning to God in a war when their country and everything else is at risk. If it's honest and sincere, God will honor that. And it will honor those people who help his people. Those who help Israel and the Jewish people will be blessed. Those who fail to or curse will be cursed. And this is a really great way to help them. Go to israelselect.org. That's israelselect.org.
So he actually is encouraging people to support Jewish people in wearing tefillin. This is what I'm putting out to you. If you're listening to this and you are a Jew and you do not own a pair of tefillin or you do not wear tefillin, I encourage you to join the soldiers. And if a soldier is putting on tefillin and he's going to battle every single day, then we surely can be putting on tefillin in support of them and to be with them in spirit. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about or you need some support in getting a pair of tefillin, just send me an email and I will help you do that without any problem. I will make sure that you get a pair of tefillin very quickly. So let's join the Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 10 Renaissance. The nations of the world will see that the name of God is written upon you and they will fear you. Let us make sure the name of God is written upon every single one of us.